can't pick a niche, or maybe you're worried, hey, is my niche the problem? I've picked this niche. I thought this was a great niche for me, but now I'm not getting clients in it, or people are telling me that they just can't afford what I have to offer, even if my prices aren't that crazy. A lot of times, issues with your business stem from either A, not having a profitable niche, or B, you get stuck on the whole pick a niche process and you keep flip-flopping from niche to niche to niche. Today's video is going to show you my 3-step process for using your own personal story to pick a niche that's going to really work for you so that you'll be able to create an irresistible offer and attract clients consistently month after month as a coach or a course creator. Hi, my name is Natalie Rosa, and if you don't know who I am, I've actually worked with over 200 women to help them be able to grow their impact and income through their coaching business, pick their niche. I've helped people who are starting from scratch. I've helped people who already have a business better hone their niche and be able to get consistent clients and reach 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K months in their business. I also had to do this process at one point in time myself. Back 4 years ago when I first started my business, I was introduced to the topic of picking a niche, and I jumped around a ton. I, in fact, had multiple niches at one point. Don't do that, right? But once I properly honed my niche, I better understood the topic, and I better understood how to serve my audience, I went from 0 to 10K months in 3 months. And so I'm going to show you how to do this process in a much better fashion so that you can skyrocket your own business. Now, if any of that sounded appealing to you and you haven't already, be sure to like this video, okay? And subscribe. Hit that notification bell that's down there because I put out new videos like this one every single week. You can even request topics. All right, it's pretty cool. But, you know, subscribing helps me, my channel, helps it reach more people, and it really helps me out. So if you wouldn't mind, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Okay, for me. All right, so let's get into today's video. So if you're really stuck on this whole pick a niche concept, I really personally believe that your first step should be to go to your own story. I wish I would have done this. I had several niches whenever I first started my business. I was like, oh, maybe I'll help realtors, you know, because, you know, I know different realtors. My mom was a realtor for a period of time in her life, right? Or I was like, oh, you know, I've cleared up my own acne by adjusting things in my diet. Maybe I'll help people. Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All right. But to be able to pick your niche, what we're going to do is we're going to get out a piece of paper. Okay. And we're going to list out 5 different things that we're passionate about. But more specifically, the easiest way to do this in order to start your coaching business, or even just to have a more powerful message within your business, is to use your own personal story and transformation. So think of 5 different things within your life, right, where you've made a personal transformation. What do I mean by that? So within my own business, okay, originally, whenever my business first started taking off, I used my copywriting skills, then my marketing skills to better help other people with their marketing. I use my own personal story with marketing. To this day, right, I talk about how I've taken my own expertise within marketing and turned it into this full-fledged business where I help people with marketing and sales, and it's great. Right? So that's my own personal transformation for how I went from a corporate job to working at a pizza joint to now I'm running this business. I worked with over 200 women to help them grow their business, right? And that's my own personal story and transformation. But you could use a different thing. Like, let's say that you were able to attract a wonderful partner for yourself and you have, you know, a beautiful marriage together, or maybe a marriage isn't something that's desirable to you, but you've been able to do that in your own life and you'd be able to help people do the same, right? Or maybe you are really amazing at being able to, let's see here, to acquire a job that you want, and you understand how to go through that process of, hey, you've got the education and now here's how to get the dream job that you want, and here's how to get paid what you want in your job, right? That could be a personal transformation of yours that you could start coaching people on. Or maybe your personal transformation has to do with something with health. or nutrition, where you used to, if you're in more of the intuitive eating space, where you used to have a bad relationship with food and now you have a great relationship with food, and you want to help people better love their own bodies and achieve that for themselves too, right? List out 5 different transformations. So pause this video and do this for me first off. Now, the second part of this whole equation that you have to think about is, what are you actually good at, right? So if you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, I don't have that much experience in it, you might want to kind of like scratch that off. So be careful here that it isn't just imposter syndrome popping up, because that's a very real thing. And people can have experience within something and then feel like, I don't have enough experience, so I can't start working in this, right? Or something like that. And I have that happen to a lot of people, and people delay starting their business for that reason. Don't let that happen to you. And if you feel like that might be you, right, you should go watch another one of my videos where I talk about imposter syndrome and how to overcome it, right? But you want to make a list of things that you're good at. And if you're like, I don't even know what the hell I'm good at, go ask a family or friend member, a friend or family member, everybody, to let you know what you're good at. They might know from an outside perspective what you're actually good at and be able to give you kind of more candid feedback about that. Now, the third thing that you got to think about is market, need, want, desire, and can they actually afford what you have to offer? That last part, a lot of people forget, okay? So this third part requires research. And if you don't do this part properly, right, the whole business will be messed up. And so I'm going to give a tiny little story in which 2 different ways that I've seen this mistake be made in people's business. And then what happens is their whole business doesn't work out. And then they quit their business and they're like, you know what? I'm going to give up. Business doesn't work. Businesses always fail. And it had to do with this problem. And they didn't know how to do this step properly. Okay? So when it comes to market, need, want, desire, I remember back to when I was first starting to get my business up and rolling, okay, and it was feeling a little bit challenging, and I used to watch Shark Tank all the time on the TV. I don't really watch that show that much anymore, but I used to watch Shark Tank, and I thought it was so fun. And there was this woman, and she was presenting this idea for heels. Okay, and she was saying that women have too many shoes. Women are always buying a lot of shoes because they need different shoes with different outfits. And so she came up with the idea of these heels that had interchangeable heels so that you could change them from wedges to stilettos to whatever. So she went into business, and that business went out of business. And so she took the problem of women always are having to buy more shoes. And so she thought that the solution was X. But she didn't listen to the market, because I know very few women, so there are some, but very few women see their plethora of shoes in their closet and their desire to buy more shoes as a problem. And so, because she didn't really take a whole lot of feedback from the market, and she thought, oh, that's the problem, and this is what, she just listened to her own self as the solution, right? This didn't work out too well for her. Okay, so be sure whenever you do this step, go look to see what the market is saying. Go look to see what they want is the solution. Don't just listen to yourself. Even if you are your niche, don't listen to yourself. Do outside research, okay? Second biggest mistake that I see here with market, want, need, and desire is we don't take into account, can people afford what I have to offer? So if you make your niche like struggling, broke college students who can't, who don't have a whole lot of money, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to help these struggling, broke college students better develop a life roadmap to get their life on track, right? And that's what you say you're going to do. You might run into a problem because struggling, broke college students don't have a whole lot of money to pay you to get that kind of help, right? So you also have to take into account, can my market actually afford things? Do they have agency? Are they able to afford to pay me money? So think about this. This is a very real thing, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad person if you pick a market that has more money, right? And it doesn't mean you have to just work with entrepreneurs or successful people, which you totally can if you want to, but it doesn't mean you have to do that. But don't go out of your way to pick a niche that's not going to be able to afford what you have to offer. All right? All right, everybody, that's my full-on niche training. Go through those steps. Find out, I like to think of it as like a triangle, go through those steps, figure out what the common thread is, and then above all, think of number 3 whenever you're going through this and making your decision on your niche. And then just pick something and stick with it, okay, is my biggest thing. Pick something and stick with it. You will see more momentum if you just stick with one thing. All right, everybody, I hope this video was helpful for you. Like the video, comment below what you would like me to talk about next, and subscribe because I put out new videos just like this one every single Friday.